Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you had a great and wonderful day. And I figured since the past couple of days have just been just quite awful, honestly, and not fun, just disgusting, downright trodden evil shit, corruption. I think we should just give a little bit more happiness into our lives. A little bit more of a laughter, a little bit of a joke, so we can just, laugh it off and have a good time. You know what? Because sometimes this channel just brings in too much darkness, and we need to liven up our lives a little bit. Between the band being killed and stuff, we need some liveliness in our lives. So, what I bring you today, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope we're all having a wonderful time of laughing at Disney as usual, the crappiest place on earth. Disney theme parks have been hit by so many people pooping in lines for rides that cleaners now have special code to alert them to human feces. It's just downright disgusting, you know? Why do humans have to be like this? Why do we have to live in a society to where people act or do this type of stuff? Like, what is going on here, man? Disney World may have earned the moniker of the happiest place on earth, but visitors and employees alike aren't feeling the magic after witnessing people just defecating and vomiting in line. Well, I think the vomiting one thing is, a little bit different. Sometimes you just, eat too much or whatever. You just feel sick that day and it happens. I mean, the vomiting was one thing. The defecating, not so much. Our Walt Disney World subreddit is not just for a place for fanatics to come together. It fielded plenty of complaints about the park's unsanitary conditions, which are corroborated by past and current cast members. I am in the queue for Rise of the Resistance. Someone let their kid take a dump on the floor and then they just walked out and left it. What WTF? A user wrote in the thread 2 months ago. An employee at the ride elaborated upon the horror, writing, "Fun fact, this was one of 3 shit-related incidents at Rise Day. Less fun fact, I was here for all 3 of them. The incidents were not related to children either." Ugh, that's just disgusting. Ugh. A person claiming to have recently stayed at the Pop Century's resort in Buena Vista says they left the room one morning only to encounter a massive adult-sized turd on the walkway. The visitor continued, "I have many questions. It wasn't even a full turd, it was a half a turd." What happened to the... Never mind, we're not even going over there. There are frequent reports of the other types of bodily fluids as well, including what is referred to as Code 5 and illustrated by this next example. I think this is kind of used normal for at least Californians slash LA people, because they gotta just see, and San Francisco as well, especially San Francisco. They just kind of see just turds lying everywhere, right? It's just littered with turds all over the place, very unsanitary, very not healthy, very unsafe. And they just kind of find it's normal at this point to just leave a deuce just right down on the sidewalk there, or floor, or wherever, because it's just common for them. They have to live in unsanitary means constantly, 24/7. So what's a little more unsanitariness coming from them, right? It's normal. I was in line for a haunted mansion at Disneyland, and a little girl started puking in line. Did the parents take her somewhere more appropriate to keep puking? No. A user wrote, "People are so gross and selfish. You'd be surprised by how often we get called to clean a Code 5 at a restaurant, and the parents insist on staying and finishing out the meal while the poor kid that produced it looks miserable." A cast member responded. In another thread, a commenter denounced guest behavior while waiting to mount the Avatar-themed flight or passage ride, which often has wait times up to 40 minutes. "Bodily fluids no longer bother me after working at Disney," a park employee commented. I'm not a huge person for theme parks. I'll be honest, I have a weak stomach. I don't do very well on long travels in terms of very windy roads or what have you. It's just not been good. I have gotten significantly better since I've grown up, though. As a kid, it was quite miserable. I was throwing up quite often. I don't know why that is. It just seems that I have a weak stomach, apparently including to alcohol, because my stomach can't even take alcohol. So, it's just part of the course for me. It's okay. But, normally, I just don't like going to these places, and this is probably one of the better reasons why I probably wouldn't go to a place like this in the first place. I mean, I'm pretty sure like maybe Six Flags and other places are not this dystopian, but Disney is, and I'm just gonna stay away from the shit stain that is Disneyland, and by all means go to other events that I actually enjoy that doesn't have to be part of a dystopian world that is, you know, full of feces everywhere. Let's just say that the attraction I work at has what the cast has ended up dubbing the poop hall because of the amount of times guests have gone in there and pooped. We even put up a camera and it didn't stop it. Yeah, well, that's just foul. This triggered vivid memories of former cast members. Good lord, the poop hallway once one responded rating, adding, "This absolutely gives me a war flashbacks." The letter was created just 1 month ago that was titled, "Former CMs of Reddit, how often will rides shut down because of a kid defecated in or on it?" That's just foul. I was a CM at a Pop Century in the food court and entertainment photography in DLER. All the time, one user moaned. It was worse in the food court, maybe once a week there, and quite often it was true accidents. Families come back for lunch exhausted from the sun and dehydrated. Add food into the mix and you could get involuntary expulsions from either end. And while feces and vomit are extreme enough, other park guests have found other creative ways to ruin a custodian's day. According to a former Haunted Mansion cast member, their attraction rarely shut down due to fecal matter, but we absolutely did shut down a handful of times for human ash bone matter being scattered on the ride. Okay. Guys, doctors, anybody in the chat, anybody of my viewers, hopefully anybody of your doctors at all. I think one of you are actually a computer scientist, so you probably don't even know what this is. What in the bloody hell is human ash and bone matter? I really want to know this, because the only thing I know about bodily fluids is, you know, vomiting, poop, pee, and stuff like that. All these gross other things that I wouldn't want to go near. But human ash and bone matter is different. Is somebody getting stabbed or somebody losing an arm and bones are falling down? What is going on here? I don't know what these terms are. I apologize for my ignorance. I am not a doctor. I never claimed to be a doctor. And this is just... What is this? Please leave down a comment below if you actually do know. I'm honestly curious of what human ash and bone matter is. What in the hell is going on at Disney? Despite the sentiment, these piles of ash are unceremoniously vacuumed up with this giant yellow vacuum that is worn by a custodial cast member. 2 former Disneyland custodial team workers open up about the horrors they witnessed in a book titled Gleaming the Kingdom: Insider Tales of Keeping Walt Dream Spotless. In their account, Ken Pellman and Yolanda Brand reveal the code name for an incident involving feces, human code H. The term originally referred to a horse crap, meaning a custodial worker had to clean up after one of the animals on Main Street, and the term was later modified. The most extreme story that the Pellman could recall occurred at Indiana Jones Adventure in Disneyland. There's a pair of individual use restrooms just backstage from the north unload, the author explained. It was mainly for cast members, but guests could and did use it. A woman who did not know this person to the control room for the attraction and deposited her gift right there. Pellman quipped, "It must have been challenging for the ride operator to stay at their post in there before it was all cleaned up. So what are visitors expected to do if they really can't hold it? Some rides are with notoriously long waits, like Flight or Patch have a restroom mid-queue. All guests have to do is ask an employee who will be far happier to direct you to a bathroom and then have them clean up your mess." It's just disgusting, isn't it? It's just absolutely foul on why why this is a thing. Oh, dear God. It's just, God, it's foul. This was a disgusting thing, but also kind of hilarious at the same time, because Disney is having an immense problem with apparently bodily fluids. It's just, boy. What is going on at Disney? Well, I know one thing's for sure. I am not going to Disney at any time soon. So, you guys can keep your dystopian bodily fluid mess over there. I'm going to stay here where it's safe. Alright, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, my friends, take care and have a wonderful day.